Hey people, so for this project I'm going to be starting off by using a lightweight yarn, a scissors, a size 5mm hook and a measuring tape. So to get started I'm going to make a chain of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to be putting one single crochet in each stitch. So I'm going to chain 1 and I'll be putting one single crochet in each stitch. For the next row, I'll also be doing one single crochet. So I'm going to chain 1 and I'll put one single crochet in each stitch. Now for the third row, I'm going to be putting one double crochet and I'll be doing this for the next 5 to 6 rows. So I'm going to chain 3 and I'll be putting one double crochet in. I'm going to skip this first stitch because this 3 chain serves as our first double crochet. I'm just going to chain 3 and put one double crochet in this stitch. So I'm going to be doing this for the next 3 rows. So I did 5 rows of double crochet and 3 rows of one single crochet. So now for the next row, I'm going to chain 3 and I'm going to start the mesh stitch from this row. I'm also going to start increasing from this row. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll be putting 2 double crochet in this first stitch. So 1, 2. So now for the mesh stitch, I'm going to chain 1, skip 1 stitch and put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So I'm just going to chain 1, skip the next stitch and put one double crochet in the stitch after that. So I chain 1, skip the next stitch and put 1 double crochet in the next stitch after that. Chain 1, skip 1 and put. Now on this last end I'm going to be putting 2 double crochet because I want to increase at this end. So I'm just going to be putting 2 double crochet. 1, 2. So for the next row we're going to chain 3 and then I'll put 2 double crochet in this first stitch. 1, 2. I'm going to chain 1. Now this second stitch serves as our first double crochet we'll be skipping. So we're going to skip this stitch and put one double crochet in the next stitch. So I already chained one, so I'll be putting one double crochet in this next stitch. So which means I'm going to be skipping this stitch and putting my double crochet in the next stitch after that. Now I'm going to chain one, skip one, and put one double crochet in the sorry guys. So I already chained 3 here. I'm going to be skipping this chain 2 space, and I'll put, what am I saying? So I'm getting to this row. I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to put 2 double crochet in this first chain to increase. So I'm going to be putting 2 double crochet, 1, 2. Now for the mesh stitch, I'm going to chain 1, and I'm going to skip this chain 1 space and put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Chain 1, skip this chain 1 stitch, put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. And then I'm going to be increasing in this last stitch, so I'm going to be putting 2 double crochet. For the next row, I'm going to chain 3, put 2 double crochet, which serves as an increase. Chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet on top of the next stitch. Chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Going to chain 1, skip this 1 double crochet stitch. And that's what we'll be doing for the rest of the rows until we get to the waist part. So I'm just going to put 2 double crochet here, which serves as an increase. Chain 1, put 2 double crochet in this first stitch. 1, 2. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch. And then we're going to increase on this last stitch. Two, 3, 2 double crochet, which serves as our increase. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch, add 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip chain 1 stitch. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch, add 1 double crochet. Chain 1, then we're going to increase in this last stitch. So I'm just going to show you guys one more time before I do the rest of camera. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. We're increasing in the first stitch, so we're going to be putting 2 double crochet in this first stitch, and then you're going to chain 1, skip this chain 1 stitch and put 1 double crochet in the next. We're going to chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch, put 1 double crochet. Chain 1, skip the chain 1 stitch, put 1 double crochet. So that's basically all we'll be doing until we get to the waist. So I did a total of 23 rows of increase. Now the length of this waist is about 22 inches when stretched. This is the same size as the front part of my torso. So now I'm going to be doing the rest of the rows without increase till I get to the bust area. So I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to put 1 double crochet in this first stitch, chain 1, put 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, chain 1, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, so I'm just going to be doing the next couple of rows without any increase or decrease. So I've gotten to the end of this row, and like I said, there will be no increase for the next couple of rows. So I'm just going to be putting 1 double crochet in the last stitch. So I'm just going to put 1 double crochet in the last stitch and chain 3, turn my work. I'm going to put 1 double crochet in this first stitch. Since there's no increase, I won't be putting another double crochet in this stitch, so I'll just chain 1 and put 1 double crochet in the rest of the stitches. So this is basically what we're going to be doing for the next couple of rows, and I'll come back and show you guys what to do for the bust. So I did 12 rows without increase, and you know I did 22 rows of increase, 5 rows of normal double crochet and 3 rows of single crochet, making it a total of 42 rows. So now I'm just going to be doing the bust area for this bodysuit. So for the bodysuit, I'm going to crochet normal mesh until I get to the middle, and then I'm just going to be decreasing. So I'll be doing one side of the bust, then when I'm done with one side of the bust, I'll come to the other side of the bust, and just know that I will be decreasing, won't be decreasing in this area, we'll just be decreasing in this middle area. So I'm just going to put my stitch marker in the middle. So we have 21 stitch here and 21 stitch here. So I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, turn my work, and I'll be doing the normal mesh stitch I've been doing for the other rows. Chain 1, chain 1, chain 1. Okay, so on getting to this end, I'm going to be reducing. So I'm going to chain 1. Okay, I already chained 1. So to reduce, I'm going to be skipping this chain. So I'm just going to be skipping this chain and jumping to this chain where my stitch marker is and put 1 double crochet. That's how to reduce with your mesh stitch. You're going to skip 1 and put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So for the second row, I'm going to chain 3 and I'm going to skip because we are going to be reducing in this line. So I'm going to skip this first stitch and put 1 double crochet in the next stitch. So as you can see, it's already forming that angle. So I'm going to chain 1 and continue with the normal mesh stitch without increasing or reducing. So I'm going to do the rest of camera, and when I get back to this end, I'll show you how to reduce again. So I'm done with this bust. As you can see, I even added the strap. So I'm just going to be doing the other bust, and I already tied my yarn to this end. So to get started, I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And I'll be doing the normal mesh stitch. So I'm just going to be putting 1 double crochet in each stitch. I'm just going to be putting 1 double crochet in each stitch until I get to this end where I'll start decreasing. So chain 1, chain 1, so on getting to this chain before my stitch marker, I'm just going to be skipping this first chain and jump straight to the chain where my stitch marker is and put 1 double crochet, and I'm going to chain 3, turn my work, and then I'll skip this first chain and jump to the second chain. So that's a decrease. So I'm just going to chain 1 and continue with the normal mesh stitch. So I'm done with the front. Moving on to the back of the bodysuits, we're just going to be increasing until we get to a certain stage where the whole butt is covered, and then we're going to stop there. So I'm just going to be tying my yarn at this end. Now to increase, I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'll be putting 2 double crochet in this first stitch. Then I'm going to chain 1, skip the first chain and move over to the second chain. This is because we are going straight into the mesh stitch. So I'm going to chain 1, skip 1, put my my hook into the next chain, chain 1, skip 1, put my hook into the next chain, chain 1, skip 1, and put my hook into the last chain. Now at this end I'm going to be increasing too, so I'm going to put 2 double crochet in it. So for the next row I'm going to chain 3 and we're going to be increasing in this first chain. So we're basically just going to be doing the same thing we'll be doing for the rest of the stitches. We're going to be increasing and we're also going to be doing the mesh stitch. So I'm going to be putting 2 double crochet in this stitch, chain 1, skip this chain 1 space, put my hook into the next chain, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put my hook in the next chain, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put my hook into the next chain, chain 1, skip this chain here. You're going to be skipping this chain and jumping straight into the last chain, and we'll be putting 2 double crochet in this last chain. So that's basically it for this bodysuit. Chain 3, put 2 double crochet in the first stitch as our increase, 2, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space, put 1 double crochet, chain 1, skip the chain 1 space. Okay, we'll be skipping this chain and jumping straight to the last chain and putting 2 double crochet as an increase. So that's basically it for the rest of the rows. We'll be doing repeating the same thing for the rest of the rows.